Escape from one rat race, you are getting into another rat race. You are trying to avoid a burnout by burning out faster. 45 or less than 45, or some people in FIRE movement, they talk about 35.
Welcome to episode number 3 of Money Biceps with Chenthil Iyer. Welcome, Chenthil.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Chenthil is a SEBI-registered investment advisor, and today we are going to take another deep dive into a topic which is so close to a lot of youngsters, millennials, and for that matter, many young and old people as well. The topic is called FIRE, or Financial Independence, Retire Early. So, Chenthil, why do you think FIRE is getting so much popularity among these people?
The reason why it's getting a lot of popularity is because it gives youngsters a hope that with some short-term sacrifices, they'll be able to enjoy their life fully.
And how real is that hope?
It is not real and it is not justified. And in my opinion, FIRE is one of the biggest scams that is happening right now.
Okay.
The only difference is, normally scams have a beneficiary, but this scam has no beneficiary actually. So,
okay. Can you please elaborate? Because this is a shock which is coming to me, and I'm sure with a lot of our audience as well. Why do you call it a scam?
Because if you just look at it logically, FIRE is asking me to cut out the larger earning segment of my earning life or my active income producing life.
Right.
We all know that we all start small as far as our incomes are concerned. And then gradually our skill set increases, our knowledge increases, our experience increases, and we increase the income that is generated on a year-on-year basis.
Yeah.
Now, if you retire early, that means you are retiring in the first half of that earning life cycle.
Okay.
Now, if you are doing that, you are cutting out the larger earning segment of your active income span.
Yeah. And this early retirement age of 40 or 45 is the time when any human being earns a lot, his salary increases a lot. So this is where the problem is, what you think?
Yeah, because at 45, when your income is at your peak, if you stop earning, then you're actually losing. In the next 5 years, whatever you could have earned could be equivalent to what you earned in the last 15 or 20 years. Why do you want to lose that?
That's right. Still, let us think from the perspective of these youngsters. Why exactly do you think they want to cut short their lives? The earning lives, I mean.
So one logical reason I can think of is that with the advent of AI and technology and a lot of new developments happening in the technology space, people feel that they'll become redundant faster than the previous generations, which is very much justified.
Yeah.
However, how long or how early is something which still needs to be debated and figured out, and that is a pure personal call. It cannot be just part of a movement. It cannot be creating another herd mentality among people.
Okay. So, Chenthil, FIRE is actually a number, as I understand. Let's say these people who want to retire at 40, they found a number for their retirement, let's say 10 crores, and they work towards achieving it. Do you think
typically it is like 25 times your annual expenses?
Yeah. In fact, I have some statistics for that. How to find this FIRE number. There can be many more. So first rule is rule of 25 times. So you need 25 times your annual expenses to retire. And then there is a second rule as well, rule of 4x. So you can withdraw 4% of your money every year from the retirement corpus. We can invest this retirement corpus at 4% in any investment avenue, that's what they say, and give you some money to retire. So do all these thumb rules, because there is no logic behind this, is what I think. So does it make sense?
There is logic, but it's partial logic, and that's why it is very dangerous.
Okay.
For instance, you said 4% of the corpus you will withdraw, assuming that the corpus will remain the same.
Yeah.
You withdraw 4%, the corpus earns 4% back.
Yeah.
Again, you withdraw 4%. Now, where are you accounting for inflation here?
Absolutely.
So similar to all the retirement plans or the pension plans, we'll cover pension plans in a different episode for sure.
Yeah.
But over there also, it is a fixed pension that is received by people without accounting for any kind of inflation.
Yeah.
The only advantage over here is, even if you realize this mistake, The earlier you realize it, the better it is.
Yeah.
But at least you have access to your own money. You can withdraw more money from your savings and spend and account for inflation. But once you leave your job and have a gap, and let's say you have taken a gap of say 4 or 5 years, 6 years, you will definitely become redundant. So how will you find your way back into the earning stream? So that's a bigger risk that all of these people are going to face shortly in the future.
Okay. So let's say a person comes to you with a retirement corpus that he found by fire. Let's say 10 crores or 15 crores. Do you think you, or for that matter any financial strategist in India or for that matter in the world, can help him achieve that corpus by 40 if he is 30?
See, the reason why the active income span of people have reduced is because of burnout.
Yeah, that's true.
Too much work. Okay. So earlier, if a person used to have a 9 to 5 schedule that was being followed throughout, say weekends off or at least Sunday off completely, but regular working hours are from say 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of Europeans still have that kind of a lifestyle, but Indians and Americans, we have this habit of work more, earn more, because you have to consume more kind of a philosophy. It's a self-defeating philosophy. Okay. And it is a rat race that we're all into. All right. And we tend to burn out faster than the previous generations.
Yeah.
So the typical retirement age of 60 has maybe reduced now to 55 or 50.
That's what people think they can.
Yeah, to that extent they can continue, which I think is reasonable.
Yeah.
But 45 or less than 45, or some people in FIRE movement, they talk about 35 or 40.
Yeah.
It looks unreasonable and also disastrous, because you are trying to avoid a burnout by burning out faster. How is that possible?
I was actually thinking from more of an Indian perspective. So in India, we have our family, our responsibilities, extended families, and there is of course the real fear of inflation. So does this FIRE movement at all make even 1% sense in the Indian context?
I told you, in no context it makes sense.
Okay.
Globally also, that 4% is coming from the US terms. Now here we have at least 6 or 7% interest rates going on.
Right.
But the interest rates are also a reflection of the kind of inflation that is going on. So you cannot just withdraw the interest from a corpus and live the rest of your lives. You have to account for inflation. Now coming to the core point as to why FIRE is a scam.
Yeah.
How will you create that corpus?
Yes. So that is what my point was. FIRE tells you how much, but how to get to that amount is something mystical in this moment.
Yes. So initially you earn less amount of money. And for living a reasonable lifestyle, you may need to spend maybe 80%, 90% of your early income.
Yeah. Just
to be with the crowd or just to have a dignified life. I'm not comparing with anybody else, or I'm not looking at FOMO or anything. I'm just looking at living a decent life.
Yeah.
Which requires a certain amount of income, a certain amount of expenses to be made. So in the early part of your life, it is very difficult for you to save even 20% of your income. And FIRE talks about saving 50%, 60%, 70% of your income.
Right.
So it is next to impossible. Absolutely. And if somebody is doing that, that person is having a very shabby, shoddy, lackluster and totally meaningless life right now.
In fact, there are different flavors of FIRE if you have not heard of. There is something called as fat FIRE, lean FIRE, there's Costa FIRE, Barista FIRE, and whatnot. Depending on what type of lifestyle you want to achieve after retirement. It is lavish lifestyle, it is a middle class lifestyle. How much can you spend today? Can you spend aggressively? And can you all these things. To be honest, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. What do you think?
See, Barista FIRE is something which I can still accept as one philosophy.
Okay.
Let's see what that is. So lean FIRE is totally disastrous. Fat FIRE is next to impossible. Barista FIRE is something which is reasonably possible. So let's directly cut into what Barista FIRE is all about.
Yeah.
So it's mainly about understanding that not everything can be supported by the corpus that you generate. Okay. So you don't aggressively generate a huge amount of corpus, and you slowly start withdrawing from your active role of income production.
Yeah.
and then you completely change over from a full-time profession or job into a part-time, sometime kind of a profession.
Yeah.
Some kind of a flexibility added into your income.
Hmm.
Okay, so you're still earning income even after you have retired. You're still adding income, or maybe you're also controlling your expenses in such a manner that you're able to withdraw some money from your corpus, and the rest is supported by your active earning that is happening through part-time engagement.
Okay.
This is still a sustainable model.
Okay. Can we extend this to people trying to follow their passion, what they've always wanted to love after achieving this FIRE number? Something similar?
Yeah, so this is something which I've helped people
Okay.
with already,
Mm-hmm.
and there have been success stories already. All right, so this is called career transformation.
Okay.
This is not retiring early.
Mm-hmm.
This is called career transformation, wherein everyone hits a midlife crisis.
Absolutely.
Everyone does so.
Absolutely.
Okay, because early on in your life, when you have just graduated, okay, there's a lot of pressure. You are inexperienced.
Right.
Okay, so there's a lot of pressure from people in terms of following the herd.
Mm.
How did I become an engineer? Because my friends were becoming engineers.
Same for me.
I never thought I would make a career in finance.
Yeah.
Okay, so but engineering did appeal to me. So I really enjoyed those 4 years of engineering. But I've never looked back into engineering, core engineering as such after that.
Right.
Right? So a lot of people, though it may not be their calling, they end up getting into jobs and careers which are not suiting them.
Absolutely.
Very rarely you find a Sachin Tendulkar or a Lata Mangeshkar who can actually live life that they always wanted to, or do stuff that they always wanted to. Very extreme examples these are.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there are millions of people who couldn't do that.
Mm.
Then family responsibilities come up. You end up buying a house, and there are loans attached to it. So it takes a while before a person can get freed from those liabilities.
Okay.
So typically the period from 20 to 40,
Yeah.
the first 20 years of your life, you require to gain some kind of a balance. Okay, and once that is done, the second phase of your life, 40 to 60, is where you can reinvent yourself.
Mm.
So you can take an active break of say 3 to 4 years or 5 years,
Yeah.
from 40 to 45, reinvent yourself. By now your loans are almost taken care of, you have accumulated some savings. Okay, you get that space
Mm.
to rediscover yourself.
But is not FIRE exactly what you just talked about?
So this is not retiring early. This is
Okay.
just taking a mini retirement in between of 4 to 5 years.
Mm. Mm.
I've spoken about this in my book. Everyone has an eye on your wallet, do you? Which
Sure,
is there
sure.
behind.
Yeah.
So that is called mini retirement.
Okay.
Why do you take a mini retirement? So you don't retire from something, you retire into something else
Yeah.
that you love to do.
So that's the real R from the FIRE. People have, I think, misunderstood or misinterpreted retirement as doing nothing and sitting. I think that is what FIRE also advocates.
There could be debates on this, but I am touching upon the basic logic of the concept of FIRE.
Mm.
You are penny pinching in the early phase of your financial career, or other income earning career, and then you are trying to live out the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you are earning for 10 years, and that too less amount of money in the early phase of your career,
Yeah, of
and trying to live the next 70 years.
Mm.
How lopsided is that? So I'm questioning the very concept of FIRE.
Okay. Still, we cannot avoid what people think. In fact, I've been getting people who come to me, this is my FIRE number, where do you invest to achieve this? So what do you think is an ideal answer to such people?
So this also leads
Hmm.
to something called extreme riskiness as far as your portfolio is concerned.
Mhm.
So you basically want to escape from a rat race.
Yeah.
Now, in order to escape from one rat race, you are getting into another rat race of investing
And for higher returns.
for higher returns. That's another vicious cycle.
Yes. Yes.
Why? Because one move goes wrong, and because of the high risk you have taken,
Hmm.
you may take a beating which can really backfire big time.
Okay.
And then again, you restart from maybe zero. Zero, if you restart, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to restart from a negative amount. So, one rat race cannot be a solution for escaping another rat race.
Absolutely.
So, there needs to be moderation and balance.
Hmm.
Okay. Let me now address a very important aspect, okay, of living your life fully.
Yeah.
What do you mean by living your life fully?
In fact, that was my question. If not fire, what is the solution?
Alternative to it, yeah?
Yes.
Is to figure out early on as to what is it that you would love to do for the rest of your life.
Okay.
When you figure that out, then there is no retirement at all.
Absolutely. Yeah.
However, a typical age of 50, 55, 60 is somewhere you need to accumulate sufficient corpus because your body and mind may not sustain throughout your lifespan and enable you to work throughout your lifespan. If it does so, wonderful. But we need to keep some kind of a backup plan. Like at 60 or 55, you have sufficient corpus that would at least take care of your inflation adjusted expenses for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that you should stop working at 60 also. If you really love what you're doing, continue doing that.
Then there is no retirement.
Absolutely. We should never retire. If at all you retire, retire into something else.
Yes.
However, keep the backup.
Okay.
But it requires sufficient amount of time.
Yeah.
It cannot happen in 5 years or 10 years.
And patience is what something youngsters don't have nowadays, and I think this is what has given birth to this fire movement. At least I haven't met one person who has achieved fire or fire number and he has retired for in whatever sense of retirement that he has.
In our childhood, we may have encountered a situation of heart attack in people.
Yeah.
Very less number of times.
Yes.
And typically, it used to happen to people above the age of 50, 55, 60.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, we are hearing about heart attacks happening to 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds.
Yes.
Why is it happening? The major contributor is stress.
Yeah.
Now, fire is adding fuel to the fire of stress.
Instead of relieving you from that, yeah, you are again in another rat race.
Absolutely.
Earn more, invest more.
You're increasing that stress.
Yeah.
So instead, you just ease out a little bit,
Yeah.
relax, enjoy your life,
Yeah.
make savings a consistent habit,
Mm.
make good habits a part of your lifestyle,
Yeah.
eating right,
Mm.
sleeping right, okay, exercising right.
Yeah.
So all of those things you build into your being, then what happens is you have a healthy life going forward. Except for extreme circumstances like, somebody dies of an accident or those probabilities actually are very less. Your probability of dying from an accident is extremely rare.
Yeah.
Okay?
The probability of dying by stress is much more.
Much higher. And that's why the premiums for accidental insurance or accidental disability or death insurance is way lesser than life insurance.
That's true. So as we conclude this discussion on fire movement, which has been unnecessarily been made popular, and we have saw the flip sides of fire with Mr. Chenthil Iyer, I'm sure our audience has got a lot of insights into it, and they are able to think more holistically toward their financial life than taking shortcuts like the fire movement. So thank you, Chenthil. Thank you for having.
Absolutely a pleasure as always. Thank you, Nikhil.
Thank you.